Hey guys, and welcome back to the World War II Solitaire board game channel and another brick build video. I'm very excited today because today is the first time that I'm gonna build a Cobi model. So Cobi is kind of like the golden standard when it comes to military brick models. I guess it's one of the most expensive brands, but compared to some of the brands in the US, they're not that expensive. I guess this one was like, I guess 80 bucks or something, but compared to the Ukrainian builds, yeah, this is extremely expensive because those I pay like $10 to $20 for a piece. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be a lot higher quality. These are printed bricks, there's no stickers, and they have World War II models. So I'm actually going to build something World War II today, not something Ukraine War. So, the only thing right off the bat I don't like is that on the Ukrainian brick models there's these little tapes here, and then you just open the box. Here it seems like you kind of have to pry it open and kind of break it. But before we do that, let's look at this thing. So we got a Sd.Kfz 222, which is I guess kind of like a scout car, which has a little machine gun and a little cannon here, and the scale is 1/28, so we finally have a scale, and I'm gonna go with 1/28. I think that's for me my preferred scale. 502 pieces, and we get one model. The model number is 2657. So we get our little scout car, and we get some kind of officer with that, and this is how it looks. On the side is this the historical collection, and from behind we can see some of the details here that we're going to be able to open this up. We're going to be able, looks like, to take the cannon up and down, and this is one of the smaller Cobi models, so I have purchased other ones, big tanks, which has engines that you can display outside of the model and also have inside of the model. And we get a little plate here too, to put wherever we want to showcase it. And here we have some historical information on the tank together with a historical photo. We see that it's a German car, of course, a light armored car. And we see the range and the crew and everything, the armament. You can see he had a KWK30 times 1. Okay, it's a KWK30, I assume, with 1 time 7.92 centimeter and an MG34 on top of that. And the speed is 80 kilometers an hour. That's going to be 50 miles per hour in freedom language. Okay, so let's see if we can open this one up. I want to see where, I think it makes more sense to open it here. See if we can do it without completely demolishing it. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I wish they would have a system where you can open it without kind of, breaking it, because now it looks all bended, and I'm sure you could do it nicer if maybe I use a knife or a box cutter or something. Okay, so here right off the bat I see a big difference to the other designs, that we actually have numbered bags. So we have 2 bags here. We have bag number 1 and bag number 2, and the instructions are huge. And they look so much more clear than the previous models. We also have a warning sign here. Be careful, notice the difference. So we have some very similar brick pieces here, which is important to keep track of. And then here we have some additional instructions. So all in all, I think this is gonna be, it looks to me like this is going to be a little bit more of a complicated build. We're already at 44 steps, and the previous model I did, which was 400 pieces, was totally 42 steps, I believe. So I think this is going to be a little bit more complicated to make. And here we get into the second bag. But hopefully the end result is gonna make it worth it. Wow, we're getting close to 200 steps here. And yes, it ends on 227 steps, and there's no page number, so I can't tell you what page that is, but it's quite a few pages, definitely. And then we have our inventory here, customer service, and how to assemble our little soldier, and some ads here for other models, the Panther and the Tankat Sd.Kfz. Okay guys, let's see if we can build this thing. Alright, so here is the finished result. Took me about 2.5 hours to build this, so quite a lot longer than it's taken me to build cheaper models, which weren't Cobi. But there were quite some very fine moments in this build. And if you watched the speed build, you might have seen that I ran into trouble very early. There were something that was almost impossible to put on. I tried putting on gloves. I tried using a little bit of sandpaper to cut that piece down, but I just had to go one step back, and basically before I built the thing prior, I just had to go one step ahead and attach those things before. So I think the steps there, I don't know if I got a bad piece or if the steps were a little bit illogical, but I made it work that way without having to adjust the pieces anymore, because even though I sandpapered it, it didn't fit like I wanted it to. So and yeah, I had to backtrack a few times. There's these, like they warned in the build manual, there are these pieces that are very similar looking, and it was very hard sometimes to distinguish which kind of piece it was. So that was actually helpful, because it did say if it was an A piece or a B piece, and then you could go back to that beginning and look which part you should actually use. So that was cool. Although those pieces, the corner pieces or whatever you call them, it can be very hard to distinguish like which direction they want the corner to point at. That could be very hard for me to distinguish. And I think I have quite good eyesight even with my glasses on. So that was quite difficult. Some of those corner pieces. I had to backtrack a few times. I did a few minor mistakes, but I was able to backtrack and fix it. And I think in general it's quite forgiving, that the times I did discover something wasn't quite 100%, I was able to backtrack without any problem. So this turret does spin. These shovels are a little bit in the way. Let me see if I can get them down a bit. There we go. So yeah, the turret spins 360 degrees, and then you can open this up here. So that's kind of cool. And then you have, on this gun here, you have the sight and everything inside. But unfortunately, there is no space for any miniature in there. That would be cool though if he could actually like fit inside it, but he's a little bit too big for that. And the gun does decrease and increase, but it's this is kind of, the MG is better to play with, because the main gun is kind of easy to break. But if I compare this to the cheaper models I've been building before Cobi, I gotta say it's very different. This is way less, I forget the English word for it. It's way less likely to break down as you're handling it. It's way less sensitive. So that's really fragile, actually is the word I was looking for. And it does roll. It could roll a little bit better, but I think it's you just have to adjust the wheels basically, and I think pull them out a little bit. And I'm not gonna be playing with it, so I'm fine with that. Oop, lost a shovel. Yeah, these I would say these are not very like, you could probably, if you're never gonna build it again, you could probably glue that on, but I'm never gonna glue my models, because when I get older, maybe I have kids or something who want to play with these or rebuild them or whatever. But yeah, I think those, you see it fell off again. So I think these are the weak part of this model, the shovels. Or perhaps I'm doing it wrong, but let me see if I can get that on again. There we go. It seems to be sitting pretty good right now. And I think, let's see if I pull it back a little bit. There we go. I think all in all, it was a very fun build. It was, this is the smallest Cobi that I have. I have a few that's, so many more pieces. And I thought this was quite challenging from time to time. So I think if I ever build one of those with over 1,000 pieces, I'm definitely gonna need some breaks. I did this without breaks. I did 2.5 hours just fighting through it, man. And that's not counting sorting the pieces. What I do is I open the bags and I sort all of the pieces. Let me see if I have... Yeah, you see there, I think actually I got one... You see that? I think I got that one wrong. This piece here. As you see on the other side, it goes the other way so that the shovel kind of fits without any problem. But here it's in the wrong, either it's the wrong piece or I have it in the wrong direction. Let me see here. That looks to be right. Yeah, I just had it in the wrong direction. And that's what I mean, these corner pieces, I don't know if it's just me that's stupid, but for me it's very hard by the pictures of the book seeing which side it should be on. That can be very difficult. And I think I got it right now. It's still doesn't quite look right to me. Let me see, that goes... I think I have to take it out and look at the other one. But yeah, that's one of the challenges, those corner pieces. Let me get this shovel off and see. Because it is really quite difficult sometimes to make them sit right. Okay, so that goes up. Let's see here. If I can copy what I did there, I think that should be right. But it's yeah, you see it's mirrored on that side, so I have to think a little bit differently. It has to go, see here, yeah, on the other side. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Let's see, it should be in the front, so it should be here. And these tiny pieces are a little bit challenging to put on sometimes, so I do notice that I get a little bit of pain in my fingers as I'm building. But again, I built for 2.5 hours without a break, so I don't think that's... Let's see if that looks better. Still doesn't quite look right to me. I don't know why. Let me see if this side might be better. I don't know if it's the... Let me take this out and see if I... No, it's the right piece because it's the same kind of tall piece. Maybe it's actually, it looks like maybe it's the wrong piece. It's hard to get that out now because it's all built in there. So I might have just actually used the wrong piece, and that's on me. But yeah, those corner pieces are the curse. I was always hard when they came up because it's so hard to tell which way it should go on some of the pictures. Not all of the pictures, but on some of the pictures. But all in all, it's a fun build. It had some fun, details, and it looks great if you build it correctly. So I really like this. I'm gonna get more Cobis for sure. And I'm looking forward to building the tanks to see how the tracks work. Well, that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel. Give me a comment what you think of the model, and if you want to see more, let me know. Okay, guys, take care. See you next time.